from here, but he started comedy in the Plano, Dallas area. Now he's back. Everyone, please make some noise for Scott Bedgood.
What's up, everybody? Make some noise for your host, Jason, all the comedians tonight. Make some noise for Rose City Comedy. Okay? We have a comedy club in Tyler. This is amazing. When I grew up here, if we wanted to laugh at people on a Friday night, we'd have to go to Walmart to People Watch. Now we have a comedy club. Like, things are going really well here. I know you're thinking too safe, sexy. Dang it, I messed that up. I'm going to skip that. Don't worry about that. I guess I'm not sexy enough for that one. But, I did grow up here in Tyler. And when I left 15 years ago for college, I was a fresh-faced kid with a Justin Bieber haircut. And I returned looking like thrift store Travis Kelce. So, yeah, that's not good. No, I don't actually think I look like Travis Kelce, but I get compared to generic white celebrities all the time. But Travis Kelce's like pretty jacked. Like, I'm pretty happy about that one. Usually it's not a very strong, jacked celebrity. Like, one time I got Liam Hemsworth, and I was like, Hemsworth, I know who that is. And I looked it up, and that's the Hemsworth that is not Thor. So, kind of disappointing. And then I used to get John Krasinski a lot when he was Jim Halpert, but not since he's been Jack Ryan. I'm not sure what's changed though. Like, what is it that I don't? No, actually, my wife knows exactly why I don't get compared to those big, strong celebrities. In fact, the other day I was leaving the house and I had a cardigan on, and I put a big, heavy coat on, and she goes, "Whoa. Don't you think that's a little bit too much weight for your frame?" It was like she was at the gym with me and saw me put like 3 45s on each side and was like, whoa. I think we should start with a windbreaker, get a few reps in, maybe work our way up to a cardigan. Like, we're not trying to hurt ourselves setting any personal records here with a big coat today. Like, just got to work it out, But I wonder, like, why am I built this way, right? Is it nature? Is it nurture, right? Like, but it's got to be the way I was raised, Because, like, my dad's pretty strong. My grandfather's really strong. He's 96. He lives alone. He's doing great. He grew up in the Depression, though, and at one point he was so poor, he lived in a tent on the bayou. That's a real thing. And when he was in his 80s, he was working out, and he popped his bicep up into his arm, didn't go to the doctor. I don't mean to brag about my own privilege, but I grew up in a house. And the other day, I went to the doctor because I sat for too long. It's not genetics, guys. It's how I was raised a little bit soft, okay? No, I do love being here in Tyler. I see pretty much everyone I know is here, which is cool. Real quick, make noise if you're not here to see me. Okay. So, who was it? You right here? Yeah. Hi. You might be thinking, like, wow, he brought this big crowd. He must be a really famous comedian from Dallas. I would love for you to keep thinking that. So, can't really do crowd work because I know everybody, but hey, my boy Wesley is here. It's actually his birthday today, so everyone make some. Wait. I just remembered, don't make noise for Wesley, because earlier I asked him if he BYOB'd, and he was like, yeah, you want some? And I was like, you look like a guy that probably has some good whiskey. And you know what he brought me? Low-calorie white wine. So we're not going to cheer for Wesley ever again. No, I do love seeing Wesley here because it reminds me of the great times that I had in Tyler growing up. We would ride around town in his 4Runner, windows down, sunroof open, subwoofer in the back, just blasting rap music. Just 2 white private school kids just listening to "I'm So Hood" as we pulled up to Andy's Frozen Custard together. So hood. And I'm still, honestly, so hood. I listen to so much rap music, it's like always in my head. And when people want to ask advice from me, I don't want to tell them something from me. I want to give them a rap lyric. It sounds way cooler. Not helpful when it comes from me, though. So if you're like, hey, Scott, how do I maintain strong relationships? I'm like, I stopped smoking with haters back in '94. That's what Pimp C said. Not helpful because you're like, hey, Scott, you were 4 years old in 1994. You don't smoke and you don't have haters because you don't do anything well. So it's not good advice. Or you're like, hey, Scott, you look like your parents tried to make you go to law school. You got any legal advice? And I'm like, yeah. The glove compartment's locked, so is the trunk in the back, and I know my rights, so you're going to need a warrant for that. Who said that? Oh, you laughed so hard I thought you knew. That's Jay-Z taught us that. That's what you tell the cops when they want to search your car for drugs. Here's the problem with me telling you that. Look at me. I'm giving a cop a guided tour of my car, okay? My glove compartment's not locked. I'm like, look, officer, would you like a mint? Okay? I don't actually know really anything about drugs except from rap music. In fact, I'm so ignorant. This is a true story. My first apartment with my wife, about 20 minutes after 4 o'clock every afternoon, we'd smell a real skunky smell coming from the vents. Never occurred to us that our neighbors were smoking weed. You know what we did? We called the apartment complex and told them a skunk died in our vents. They didn't send any maintenance men. They just wrote narc in 183. But I do love rap music. I could do 18 minutes on rap music, but I won't. But I'll keep going on this one because I love listening to old rap music. I don't like new rap music. It doesn't really speak to me. I don't really get it. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't get old rap music either. Like, I have no idea what it means to stay flossing in that candy paint. But when Mike Jones comes on and I'm in my white Toyota RAV4, I crank that thing up and I stay flossing. You know what I mean? But I love listening to old rap music because they brag about technology that goes out of date really fast. And it sounds super lame. You know what I mean? Like Tribe Called Quest, they have a song from the early 90s. They say, it's called Sky Pager. They say, do you know the importance of a Sky Pager? And I'm like, no, I don't have any idea what a Sky Pager does. Or Wiz Khalifa, 2011, Black and Yellow. This wasn't even that long ago. Black and Yellow, the best part of that song, the beat cuts, goes no keys, push to start. I mean, when you heard that in 2011, you were like, Wiz Khalifa is so rich, he drives a black and yellow Lamborghini. And you hear that in 2024, you go, Wiz Khalifa drives a white Toyota RAV4? That's not great. I've been doing comedy about a year and a half, and a lot of people ask me when I started comedy, like, are you afraid of failure? You afraid of bombing? You afraid of embarrassing yourself? I was like, no. Because I've already experienced the worst embarrassment you can experience in life. Because I was a 5'8", 160-pound offensive lineman in high school. He was my line coach. He can back up everything I'm about to say. I don't come up here and tell lies. Everything I'm saying is true. Because you understand the embarrassment of just lining up. Down said hut, knocked on your butt. Down said hut, knocked on your butt. Down said hut, knocked on your butt. Over and over and over again by the blocking sled. You guys know what that's like? And look, nobody wanted me to play. My parents didn't want me to play. I had to convince them to let me play. My friends thought it was a bad idea. My coaches wished I hadn't. But they had to let me play because it was our first year of football. School's first year of football ever. There were 24 guys on the team. If you don't know anything about football, there's 11 guys on offense. There's 11 guys on defense. There's 11 guys on special teams. That's 33 positions. So if you're good at math, you're like, whoa, some people are playing on 2 or 3 of those teams. I get to play on none of those teams. Not one. And people will say, like, oh, are you worried in comedy that someone might heckle you? No, I'm not. Because you know what's worse than one person heckling you at a comedy club? How about all your friends for 3 hours every game heckling you from the stands? They would make signs. I was number 68. They'd make signs that said 68. They would chant number 68 the whole time. They would just follow me the entire time up and down the sideline. There's only 13 guys on the sidelines, guys. I can't hide. They're just back there the whole time while I'm not playing. And I bottled all this up. I bottled up that drive. It drove me. I said, I want to make one big play. I want to do one thing that people will remember me on the football field. It's got to be just a big play that everyone will remember. They'll remember the number 68 and the name Scott Bedgood. And guys, it happened. This is true. It happened. We were playing our biggest rival. Last game of the season, full stadium. We're punting. I hear 68 get out there. Here we go. Ball goes in the air. Punt returner, he's waiting on it. And he's getting nervous. You know, he hears the footsteps. He's waiting on it. Oh. He fumbles, and boom. The PA announcer. Fumble recovered by number 68, Scott Bedgood. Oh my gosh, everyone goes nuts. The coaches are going crazy. The sideline's going nuts. My friends are like, that's why we put him on the sign, because he's good. We weren't joking. We're big fans of him. Big play. And my parents' friends, they're excited. They go to turn and they high-five my parents, and they weren't there. My parents believed in me so little. They went to dinner and were just going to show up late. And they weren't going to tell anyone because they knew I wouldn't play. Can you imagine parents not believing in you like that? And so they get there and their friends are like, Scott recovered a fumble. It was a big deal. Everyone was excited. And they were like, I don't think so. You know what the worst part about that is? They were right. That wasn't me. They had made me switch numbers with somebody halfway through during that week, and they just didn't update the rosters. That was someone else who recovered that fumble. Like, they needed offensive line help, and I was so bad. They were like, we can't have him play. So they took a receiver who couldn't catch, gave him my number, and made him play offensive line. And this was his biggest moment of his life. And I got all the credit. They announced me in the stadium. I was in the newspaper. I got congratulations all over the campus for weeks. I was a celebrity. Like, he did all the work on the football field, and I got all the media coverage. Like I said, I was Travis Kelce earlier. I was Taylor Swift in this situation, okay? I said I was 5'8" when I was a sophomore. As you can tell, I am not that now. I'm 6'4" now, and obviously that means that I have a lot of back problems. So I get a lot of massages. I like massages. They're good, but I really need them to like be really, really painful. I need it to feel like excruciating, and so then I feel good afterwards. But I don't want a male masseuse. That feels weird, right? I don't want a male masseuse. I want just like a big German woman named Helga, who's like really digging in. She's like, "Is this okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." But the other day I went to get a massage and I was really upset because the masseuse comes out. She was just really small, just thin girl, and I was like, oh, "There's no way she's gonna be rough enough and for this massage to be worth it. It's gonna be a waste of my money." And I was upset. And we go back to the room and she goes, "Hey, I like that hoodie. My girlfriend has the same one." And I was like, "Hell yeah." She's about to tear me up. Anybody have kids here? Anybody have kids? Anybody have kids? Okay. Anybody have just dogs, no kids? Okay, all right. Well, okay, but there's a little bit of a rivalry between kids and dogs, right? Or kids, parents, dogs, parents, because people with dogs say, "I don't have kids, but I have dogs." It's like the same thing. Okay, and people get upset, right? People are like, it's not the same thing. Look, I have 2 kids and I have 2 dogs. Let me just end this debate right now. It's not the same because, like, for example, I've never once regretted having 2 dogs. I'm kidding. I have regretted having 2 dogs every time I go to the vet. You guys seen vet prices these days? They're crazy. You know what I mean? Like, you go to the vet, every time I have the same thought and a conversation with the vet every time. They give me the diagnosis and I'm like, can we just let him die? And the vet's like, "This is a checkup. I just told you they're perfectly healthy." I'm like, wait, I have to pay for this again next year? But my vet, this is true, my vet is the worst because what they do, there's this guy at the counter, and every time before he gives you the price, he just wants to let you know that he knows that you're going to pay this no matter what. And I'm not kidding you. This is what he does. He goes, "We love our pets. Cash or card." I'm like, it's terrible, but I kind of think other professions would do this, like other professions that know you're going to pay this no matter what. Like you go to pay a bar tab after a really long night, the bartender's like, you do this to mask your emotional pain and childhood trauma, cash or card. I'm 33. I was holding for applause. That's weird that no one... Oh, yeah, because 33 is not a cool age, right? Like, no one cares about 33. But somebody made it cool for me one time because they said, hey, it's your Jesus year. And I was like, Jesus died at 33? And he's like, yep. And I was like, cool. Jesus was God, and so he could pick what age he died at, and he picked 33. And he was like, yes. And I was like, happy birthday. I would prefer happy birthday instead of that information. That's rough. But I know what happened. I know Jesus went to his annual physical, and the doctor was like, hey, Jesus, I've been meaning to talk to you about this. I think it's time you start turning that wine back into water. Hydration is very important. Speaking of water, I think your walking on water days are behind you with those knees. And Jesus was like, dang, at least I can still break bread with the homies. And the doctor was like, ooh, your test results just came back. You're gluten intolerant. So maybe just like one final Last Supper with the boys. I really pulled back on that one. I should make it clear I am a Christian, so... No, I think it's important for Christians to be having conversations with people of other races, or not races. What am I talking about? Let me start that one over. Hey, you guys know how Taylor Swift re-recorded all her old albums? I'm gonna re-record that joke real quick. Start over and not say races. I think Christians should talk to people of other religions to. To build bridges, I think it's important to always have those conversations. So I'm always having conversations with, for example, I'm always having conversations with Muslims, like when I'm in Ubers. And the other day I was in an Uber, and after the driver cut through 3 parking lots, I was like, Muhammad Earnhardt, is it Ramadan? Like, are you fasting? And he was like, yes, I'm so hungry. And I was like, that makes sense. And I said, hey, does it ever get easier fasting during Ramadan? He goes, no, it's always really hard. But, religion. And I was like, look, I'm a Christian. I get it. Sometimes on Sundays, the pastor talks for too long. And I'm 5 minutes late to brunch. Do you understand the lines at Breadwinner's Cafe? But religion. Did you guys see there's a new poll that 50% of men think they could land a plane if needed? That's pretty crazy, right? The worst part about that poll was it was taken exclusively of Spirit Airlines pilots. So kind of a coin toss if you're getting home. But other airline news, Southwest Airlines said they're going to give a complimentary row of seating to passengers of size. Okay. Not to be outdone, Spirit Airlines says they're going to put all fat people on one side of the plane just to see what happens. As a comedian, you're always keeping up with things you can and can't say, things that are offensive. Did you guys know you can't say homeless anymore? Yeah, the word is houseless. You have to say houseless because home is a state of mind. It's, where the heart is, right? So you could live on the street but feel at home on the street. So houseless is the right term. And I think that's good because, I was in Austin a few weeks ago, and that houseless guy looked right at home taking a dump on the sidewalk. His heart was in it, Anybody play the lottery? No? Okay, good. My follow-up was, has anyone ever won the lottery? So I don't need a follow-up at all. You guys are all doing great. No, but people always ask, what would you do if you won the lottery? You guys don't ask that, but but people say, what would you do if you won $1 billion? I wouldn't want people to know I won $1 billion. I would just want to keep it under wraps. I would just want to, help my family out. So the only thing I would do with $1 billion is I'd finally start paying for all my own streaming services. My parents would be like, is he coming to money? It's been amazing being here with you guys. It's really, really cool that we can do this in Tyler, Rose City Comedy. This is incredible. Again, make some noise for Rose City Comedy. Make some noise for all the comedians tonight. Y'all's support is amazing, and everybody coming out, it means the world to me. The support that I care the most about is my wife, who lets me do this, so she's here. That's cool. So I do like to end on this joke that she wrote when she's here, but also it's like probably one of my better jokes, but it's hers. So anyway, she said, I used to hate going to the dentist until I had kids, and now it's the only form of self-care I have. Just like 1 hour, I get to lay back with my eyes closed and no toddlers asking me questions. You know, like she said, next time she's going to go to the dentist with a robe on, like put some cucumbers over her eyes and just lay back and, this is the life. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'm Scott Bedgood.